And here it is. It is here. Roll up, ladies and gentlemen. One man went to mow. Here it is. It is here. Here I am. Hope you are there. The session commences and your company is required. That thing that we do around about this time is being done exactly at this time. So if you are available right now, come surrender yourself to the session. One man went to mow. The eagle has landed.
Another Savior. Holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior. Another Savior. Holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior.
Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Many years after the genocide, whoa, yet another great leader has risen up now. Oh, and he's leading the Biafrans to victory. Inyamadika yabika kwa namno. Hey, anamekele mazuche mefo. It's an honor having you on board. When I'm singing along, holy, 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 Nandekano is another Savior. Gonna sing along, holy, 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 Nandekano is another Savior. When I sing along, holy, 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 is another Savior. Getting moving right and getting moving faster now. Holy, 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 is another Savior. Holy, holy, getting moving right, moving faster, never freedom. Is another Savior. Yeah, for freedom. Holy, 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 Nandekano is another Savior. Another Savior. Holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior. Another Savior. Holy, 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 Adimebujuku. Another Savior. Well, this is Mobien. This is dedicated to the gallant heroes of the Nigerian Biafra War and IPO families all over the world. I remember the Nigerian Biafran War, in the thickness of the Biafra genocide. Hey, one man revived the vanishing hope to life. Let the great Biafran army to fight, and they were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior. They were singing out, holy, 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 is another Savior.
So there you heard it. Holy, 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 Nandekano is their other savior, the Igbotics from the east. So holy, 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 Nandekano is their other savior. As guys, I bring you this. My father was sick for a while. Tinubu daughter says. So that's the opening headline. That's Tinubu space and that question mark around his health. His daughter comes out to speak on that. My father was sick for a while, a headline attributed to Tinubu's daughter. So quite what she's saying and why she's saying it, we find both out soon enough. To the east we go, Imo State, forgive and forget. Uzodinma pleads with Okorocha. So Uzodinma, a sitting governor, Okorocha, an ex-governor. So quite why a sitting governor will be on his knees to an ex-governor, we'll find out shortly. But first, the headline again, just to tease. Imo State, forgive and forget. Uzodinma pleads with Okorocha. So on his knees in State House, Fulani made. So from Fulani made to Son of the Soil, airline operators will be granted license to import aviation fuel. NNPC speaking. So this is the space that what's his name, Alan Oyema, has been pushing hard for. And because they have bastardized the petroleum industry, they have no other choice but to accede. Otherwise, the airlines will ground to a halt in Nigeria. Airlines operators will be granted license to import aviation fuel, a headline attributed to NNPC. So quite what that means, we'll find out shortly. We'll find this out shortly as well. Nigerian Petroleum Agency (NNPC) fails to account for missing 107 million barrels of crude oil, audit report. So they're just it's just a free for all. Do you know what that means? 107 million, that is not thousand. 107 million barrels of crude oil at 100 and something dollars per barrel. So that is what is missing in Nigeria. But then, of course, this is not news. This is not news. This is just news. Nigerian Petroleum Agency (NNPC) fails to account for missing 107 million barrels of crude oil, a headline attributed to an audit report. So it's the data and the auditors saying this, not anybody that has any vested political interest. Ruling party APC crisis deepens as caretaker committee storms national secretariat, says Buni remain chairman. So free for all, we'll still see punches thrown in that space fairly soon. Ruling party APC crisis deepens as caretaker committee storms national secretariat, says Buni remains chairman. So there it is right there. Ija Igboro Niti Ibadan. Ija Igboro Niti Ibadan. So there it is right there. Ex-AIG Joseph Mbu sues police for compulsory retirement. So you know the tradition, of course, and we saw it play out again to make Alkali Baba the police inspector general. So to do that, they had to compulsorily retire a lot of people that were ahead of him in the hierarchy, because heavens will fall before Buhari makes an Igbo man the police chief. So he had to make a Fulani, he didn't have to, but he wanted to, and it is his picadillo to act in that manner. To make a Fulani man the Inspector General of Police, he had to sack a lot of people. So, as I suspect, this may well be one of the sacked ones. I'm just speculating just now because we've not yet gone into the body of the story yet. But the headline again, ex-AIG Joseph Mbu sues police for compulsory retirement. So quite why he feels aggrieved, we'll find that out shortly as well. So plenty to find out. So sit back, lean back, take it easy. Click on the like button, of course. And if you are not subscribed, then are you all right? Just do that right now. Click the red button, make sure it's depressed so that it turns gray, and then that's permanent. And click on the like button as well, because that is what propels the platform within the YouTube algorithm. So if you want the progress of the platform so that the conversations get sharper and even more high level, then that clicking of the subscribe button is you pointing in that direction. So as we go about the clicking, let me provide a little bit of a musical intermission. We go to the east and engage to a cha-cha-cha to the backdrop of the Python dance.
Omeriwo n'Izu Oniroya Abakare Mama Dawora Olapori Meri Nande Python dance one, Python dance two, now Python dance three. Una poli meri.
I do beg your pardon. This crap software that I use, StreamYard, is always kicking me out anytime I try to upload something onto the screen. So we try again.
iPod, o meri o n'Izu, onire ya, abakare, mama dawora, una poli meri Nandi win the war. Python dance one, Python dance two, now Python dance three. Una poli meri Nandi win the war. Python dance one, Python dance two, now Python dance three. Una poli meri Nandi bu onye du iPod, o meri wo n'Izu, mbiro ya, abakare, mamanda ora, una poli meri Nandi win the war. Python dance one, Python dance two, now Python dance three. Una poli meri Nandi win the war. Python dance one, Python dance two, now Python dance three. Una poli meri Nandi win the war. Python dance one, Python dance two, now Python dance three. Una poli meri Nandi win the war. Python dance one, Python dance two, now Python dance three. Una poli meri Nandi win the war. Python dance one, Python dance two, now Python dance three. Una poli meri Nandi.
And there you heard it. Nnamdi wins the war. Python Dancy, Python Dancy. The Igbotics from the east. Àwọn Okoro. So Python Dance, Nnamdi wins the war. As guys, I bring you this. My father was sick for a while. A headline attributed to Tinubu's daughter. Folashade Tinubu Ojo, daughter of the national leader of the All Progressive Congress APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has admitted that her father fell ill some time ago. Our correspondents report that Tinubu had at different times in 2021 traveled abroad for medical treatment, and his aspiration to succeed. Let me start that entirely all over again. Folashade Tinubu Ojo, daughter of the national leader of the All Progressive Congress APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has admitted that her father fell ill some time ago. Correspondents had reported that Tinubu, at different times in 2021, traveled abroad for medical treatment amidst his aspiration to succeed President Mohamed Buhari. The former Lagos State governor underwent knee surgery in the United States before relocating to London for physiotherapy. Speaking at an event on Monday, Tinubu Ojo said her father had recovered from his health challenges and is fully fit and healthy to succeed President Buhari in 2023. The Iyaloja of Lagos also dispelled rumors about her father having health issues, stressing that there is no need to worry about the health of the former Lagos State governor. She said, everybody can say whatever they like, even vehicles break down. He, Tinubu, was down for some time. He was taken care of. Now he's healthy. It is very obvious. We can see it. Reacting to her father's chances of becoming the next Nigeria's leader, Tinubu Ojo said the crisis rocking the party will not affect her father's chances of winning the election. Tinubu Ojo, who is the grand patron of Asiwaju Ahmed Tinubu Support Group, expressed confidence that the APC National Convention would hold on the 26th of March. I believe strongly the convention is going to hold on the 26th of March. Inshallah, God willing, she said. So there it is right there. Tinubu's daughter coming to speak to that elephant in the room, the speculations about his health situation. And she's saying, she's admitting essentially that yes, he was seriously ill some time ago, but he has subsequently been taken care of and he's fully quite sprightly and healthy now. But is that sufficient enough to douse the speculation around his health? I suspect not. Imo State, forgive and forget, Uzodinma pleads with the beriberiism. The governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma, has pleaded with his predecessor, Okorocha, for forgiveness. Uzodinma on Monday described the former governor of the state as his brother, who is occupying the seat he left in the Senate. The Imo State governor, while speaking during an interview on Channels Television, further stated that he does not have anything against Okorocha. According to Uzodinma, all he is asking is for forgiveness from Okorocha and anybody that he might have wronged. He said, Okorocha is my brother. He is occupying the seat I left in the Senate. I have nothing personal against him. All I am asking is even if I have done anything that does not go down well with him or anybody, forgive and forget. Let us together work for our people. Uzodinma and Okorocha have experienced a frosty relationship since the emergence of the Imo State governor in the 2019 general election. So there it is right there on his knees to Rochas Okorocha. But why would he be on his knees to Rochas Okorocha? That still is suspended in the realms of speculation. Airline operators will be granted license to import airline operators will be granted license to import aviation fuel, a headline attributed to the NNPC. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation NNPC has announced that it would grant a license to the airline operators of Nigeria to start importing aviation fuel, otherwise known as ATK. Speaking at the end of the investigative hearing instituted by the House of Representatives on Monday, March the 14th, to resolve the issues between oil marketers and airline operators on the price surge of ATK, NNPC GMD Melekiari said, as requested by the airline operators of Nigeria, there would be granted license by their authority to import petroleum products, particularly. So note that is products, not a particular. So just listen to the wordings because the wordings are quite pertinent because it doesn't seem as though it is limited and restricted to aviation fuel. As requested by the airline operators of Nigeria, there would be granted, so that should be they would be granted license by their authority to import petroleum products, particularly ATK, so that they can have a way of benchmarking the sales from other customers. They can also bring in cheaper products whenever it is possible. Kerry also said representatives of the Oil Marketers Association and airline operators would meet to deliberate on the benchmark for pricing to achieve transparency and price alignment, he said. And by the way, if we're going to unpick that, so what he's saying is there's still going to be price fixing, but what he is saying is for stability and predictability, the airline associations will be allowed to import petrol, but they will benchmark that against the price that the oil marketers are willing to sell them that petrol, that aviation fuel, I should say, so that there will be harmony between the two, and so there'll still be price fixing, but there'll be consistency in the price that is expected. So, or the price of the product. Kerry also said representatives of the Oil Marketers Association and airline operators would meet to deliberate on the benchmark for pricing to achieve transparency and price alignment. He added, in the next 3 days, representatives from MOMAN and DAPPMAN and the airline operators would sit down and agree on a transparent basis for pricing, which means they have to have a reference benchmark that is quoted transparently in the market. They will have a reference exchange rate for the naira so that anyone can compute, and so they will also engage. They will have a reference exchange rate for the naira so that anyone can compute, and so they will also engage and agree on a premium, which differs from customer to customer depending on the volume of products you buy and then the credit limit you are ready to do. So, this is one thing that they can negotiate in 3 days and close so that going forward, there is a transparent basis of pricing. This would no doubt throw out the actual value of the product in the market. You would not see these huge discrepancies that we have seen where some people are selling at 445 naira and some are selling at 630 naira. This will completely bring it to almost closure that you will not see such differences. Secondly, we agree that in the interim, between now and the 3 days, that they will close the basis for pricing because the lowest we have seen as of this morning is 444 naira and another high of 605 naira. There is a trader that is selling for 630. We don't think this is normal. The NMPC GMD also revealed that stakeholders in the aviation sector have agreed to peg the price of aviation fuel at 500 naira for the next 3 to 4 days, he said. So logically, let me emphasize, we agreed that they will sell for the next 3 days at 500 naira a liter, and on day 3 or 4, they will switch to the new formula that everyone can access and compute. So there you have it now. The aviation sector now able to import petroleum. But what does this mean? This is the thing. The only thing we want to see is it reflecting in lower prices for air flights. That is just the only metric by which all of this will be measured. Nigerian Petroleum Agency NNPC fails to account for missing 107 million barrels of crude oil, a headline attributed to an audit report. The Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation NNPC, now NNPC Limited, failed to account for about 107 million 239,436 barrels of crude oil lifted for domestic consumption in 2019. Records from the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation has shown. This was contained in the Federal Government of Nigeria Consolidated Financial Statements for the year ended December 31, 2019, submitted to the clerk to the National Assembly via a letter dated August 18, 2021, and signed by the Auditor General Adolphus Agugu. In a similar vein, performance reports for two depots showed that about 22,929 liters of PMS valued at 7.06 billion naira pumped to the two depots, Ibadan Ilorin and Aba Enugu, between June and July 2019 were not received by the depots. According to the report, there were discrepancies between the amounts reported by the NNPC as transfer to the Federation account and what was reported by the AUGF, whilst the NNPC records show that 1.27 billion was transferred to the corporation, the amount recorded by the Accountant General for the Federation was 608 million, showing a discrepancy of 663 million uh, naira. The AUGF said the group managing director of the NNPC should be asked to explain the discrepancies between the two figures and remit the balance of 663 million naira to the federation account or face sanctions. Also, the same amount of 519 or 520 even million naira was transferred to the Federation account by the NMPC based on transfer mandates, whilst demanding that the company provides reconciliation statement for the difference of 88 million naira between SGF's figure, etc., etc. It said, so it goes on to quote figures of corruption. It further noted that the information on the sale of unutilized crude by the refineries for 2019 was not provided, and information on crude allocations from May the 30th to December the 31st, 2019 was not provided for scrutiny. The report alleged possible diversion of domestic crude, diversion of sale of unutilized crude, as well as possible loss of Federation account revenue, stating that the management of the NMPC failed to respond to the audit inquiry. The AUGF said the group managing director of NMPC should justify non-adherence to the transfer of all Federation revenue to the Federation account as provided by the 1999 Constitution and ensure that all revenues is paid into the federal account going forward. The report also said the report also said that the audit examination on schedule of inflow of revenue by the NMPC to the Federation account obtained by the Office of the Accountant General of the Federation revealed that domestic gas receipts of 4.5 billion naira was transferred to the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Petroleum Profit Tax, gas in the month of January 2019 and was not made in the subsequent months of the year. This transfer reduced the amount due to the federal account for the month of January 2019 to the tune of 4.5 billion naira, leading to possible reduction of distributable revenue in the federation account, misapplication of funds, and diversion of revenues. It said that about 22.9 liters of PMS valued at 7 billion naira was pumped to two depots. So I think we covered this already. It further said that, essentially, corruption in NNPC, they've stolen 107 million barrels of petroleum, essentially, is what the Nigerian auditors are telling us. And that is the government auditors, by the way. So not even, it's their own internal system that is pointing in that direction. Ruling party APC crisis deepens as caretaker committee storm national secretariat, says Buni remains chairman. The All Progressive Congress APC caretaker extraordinary convention planning committee secretary John James has said that Yobe State Governor Mia Malabuni remains the national chairman. John James stated this on Tuesday whilst addressing the media at the party headquarters. In Abuja, allies of the ousted national chairman Buni took over the Buhari House National Secretariat of the party. This is even as John James, who has stayed away from the secretariat, was seen at the venue on Tuesday, accompanied by Kogi State Chairman of the party, Abdullahi Bello, and some aides of Governor Buni. Many Nigerians were shocked when Governor Abubakar Bello of Niger State last Monday made many Nigerians were shocked when Governor Abubakar Bello of Niger State last week Monday, made a dramatic entry into the party national secretariat in Abuja to preside over the caretaker committee meeting. He, therefore, administered the oath of office on the controversially elected state chairman of the party. But on Tuesday, John James said the CECPC was appointed and has also done her best to steer the affairs of APC in line with the mandate invested in her at the inauguration by the National Executive Council of the All Progressive Party. On the 28th day of February 2022, the CECPC chairman, Abuni, took a long delayed trip abroad on health grounds, leaving behind written authorization for other members of the CECPC to continue in his absence, particularly the day-to-day management of the APC. In his absence, sundry activities earlier scheduled for action appeared to develop fresh urgency in order to satisfy the timetable of the 2023 general election. After such actions were clearly identified at all times, uh, all such actions, rather, all such actions were clearly identified at all times as happening in the all such actions were clearly identified at all times as happening in an acting or proxy capacity and under the auspices of the substantive chairman, Buni, contrary to widespread speculation that the chairman, secretary, and some officials of the CECPC had been removed or replaced. So he goes on essentially to debunk that Buni has been replaced. So let's go on to land on this one. Ex-AIG Joseph Mbu sues police for compulsory retirement. Retired Inspector General of Police Joseph Mbu has asked the National Industrial Court to invalidate his compulsory retirement amongst other reliefs. The defendant, the Police Service Commission, was not in court nor was its legal representatives when the matter came up for hearing. The claimant's counsel, Taiwo E. Taiwo, stated that he was ready to proceed with the matter. After that, the claimant was invited to the witness stand to adopt his witness statement on oath dated October the 15th, 2021. The claimant, in turn, proceeded to urge the court to adopt his statement as evidence in the matter. Some of the documents tendered in evidence by Mr. Mbu were copies of his age declaration, appointment letter into the Nigerian police as a cadet officer dated December the 11th, 1985. Other documents were a letter of his promotion to the rank of AIG dated August the 22nd, 2014. The judge, Obaseki Osage, at the end of the claimant's submission, marked the document as Exhibit C1 to C21. The claimant's counsel, Mr. Taiwo, led the claimant and asked what he wanted the court to do for him. Mr. Mbu, in response, said, "I want this honorable court to grant all my prayers." The court adjourned the matter until May the 19th for cross-examination and defense. The court, in addition, directed that hearing notice should be issued and served on the defendant. Mr. Mbu instituted the suit against the commission over his alleged compulsory retirement on July the 1st, 2016, when he was the commandant of the Police Staff College. In his statement of facts, he stated that he was born on April the 10th, 1958, and joined the police on December the 11th, 1985, and had not reached the mandatory retirement age of 60, nor had he spent 35 years in service before he was retired in 2016. The claimant is seeking, amongst other relief, an order of the court to invalidate his retirement, which he claimed was done via a press release, as he was never served statutory notice of retirement. He is also seeking an order of the court directing the defendant to pay his salaries, allowances, and other entitlements from July 2016 to 2018, when he would have been due for retirement. So that is that space, of course, where they compulsorily retire a southerner in order to let Anaboki through. So there it is right there. Adanle Koko, I see you, and Solly Boy, I see you. So good to see you, gentlemen. So let's go first to Solly. Solly, are you ready? Or are you at some airport again on your way to see some rascally babe? Solly. Okay. What's this guy doing, man? All right, let's go to Ajanle Koko. Ajanle Koko, are you there? Okay, I don't.
One man, yes, up.
Brilliant. Good to have you, Ajanle Koko. So good to have you. Let's start you off, Ajanle Koko. Then, Tinubu, that space, of course, a space of particular interest to you. His daughter has come out now to say that yes, indeed, he was quite sick a while ago, and he has received the required treatment and is full of health now relative to his age. So is that sufficient enough then to satisfy your concern about the man?
Well,
Huh?
the truth is finally is gradually coming out. Well, that is Iyaloja of Lagos, who I see as Iyaloja of Nigeria in making. So if his father becomes the president of Nigeria, she too will assume the position of Iyaloja of Nigeria. So, but to the real issue, well, it's he was sick, according to the daughter, and it's been for. He went to abroad for treatment, knee surgery in America, and went for therapy in London. And since then, he returned to Nigeria and has started his campaign going around. So, if they are telling us that he's physically fit now, what do I expect? What do I expect from the family, from the daughter, or anybody that? Ashwaju's.
Yeah, but what reasons would you have to disagree? You have no reasons to disagree.
Yeah. Well, what are we to? They have to speak in favor of their father. They have to talk nice about him. They have to protect his interests. They have to promote his political career. So she's not doing bit, to promote the father presidential ambition. So why she's responding to it this time is because people like us and others that are concerned about his health, that we don't want unhealthy person to occupy the seat of power, because we don't want to go through the same thing that we are going through now with Buhari, because Nigeria is in crisis. Nigeria is in crisis, and it demands for somebody that is healthy, agile, that can work, that is mentally fit and physically strong and can do the job well and go all out when it's necessary, that can answer phone call at the middle of the night when there is emergency, that can call emergency meeting of the minister in a matter of few minutes, and they will come together and take a very important decision in the interest of the nation, and not a sick person that they cannot reach to, and they will protect all the time. So we will continue to question him. We will continue to monitor him. We will continue to ask questions, because he for many of us, we think, and the way we're looking at him, the way he speaks, the way he walk, still look very unhealthy to us. But he can be protected by his daughter and other people that are closer to him. They can continue to protect him, but we'll continue to ask questions. That yes, that is our responsibility as citizens.
Okay, but I don't see where the query is, because if they are coming out to tell us that he was unwell for a period of time, just give me 1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if he was unwell just for a period of time, then that's fair enough. I mean, that's nothing outside of the ordinary, and they are giving us the assurances that his health has now been taken care of, and that's also well enough, and that is nothing outside of the ordinary. So I'm not quite sure why people are just so insistent that this guy is unwell when they have no facts to actually, yeah. So
well, his physical outlook is what we are concerned about. The way he talks, slurred, and several videos we saw his hand shaking, and we saw the body shaking. And so these are the problem. One man, these are the problem. So it called for questioning. We have to ask questions. We have to ask questions. If he want to prove us wrong, like we said earlier, he can make a history by putting forward his health certificate. Put it forward, let us see it, and convince us that yes, you are healthy, and we keep our mouth shut.
Are you sure?
Yeah, he can do that. He can make history, put forward his health certificate. Let us see how healthy he is. There are some health issues that are manageable. Diabetes is manageable. What do you call it? High blood pressure is manageable, and it's identified with old people anyway. But those are not big deal. But there are some other things that of concern with his health, and that is why they will never be bold to release their health certificate for we the citizens.
Nobody has ever done that now, and that's somewhat asking for a lot. Why would you want to see somebody's which I've never known that in the history of politics anywhere in the world that anybody is releasing their health certificates? That's a very personal thing now. Who has ever done that in history?
Yeah, nobody has ever done that, one man. But what I'm saying, he can make the history, being the number one person, and that could be a precedent for others, to follow in the future. That can speak to the whole world that look, Nigeria has adopted a system where their president releases their health certificate to the people to convince them that they are healthy for the job, because we are in crisis. We need somebody that can do the job 24 hours if necessary. Sometimes it's a big responsibility. We are in big crisis. We are in crisis of insecurity. We are in crisis, economic crisis. We are in crisis, political crisis. We're crisis, unemployment crisis everywhere. We need somebody that is healthy and agile and ready to go to work from day one, and deliver for us. We see a situation here in United States. They usually have an annual check for United States, and you see the medical doctor that will come out on the air and tell us the state of health of the president. It's never done in Nigeria.
What do you mean state of health of the president? When has that ever happened?
No, it happened all the time. It happened all the time.
I was wondering too. I was wondering.
No. You need to check out. You need to check it out. It happened here.
No, it doesn't.
One man.
All they tell you is that I follow American politics, just like you.
I live here.
It doesn't matter. You can live there and not know. You
don't know. You don't know. I am telling you what operates here.
God.
Yes.
Okay.
You don't know what operates here. I am telling you what operates. You are telling me what not. Here in United States, on annual basis, a medical doctor will come to the air and tell us the state of health of the president.
Right.
It happened here.
Okay. Can
Sorry,
you send
you can laugh. You can laugh as you like, but you can find out. Check out. You can look it online.
You send a
Yes.
clip of it. Send a clip of it. I want to see a clip of that.
I don't know. Google it.
You say the doctor coming to tell you that Biden is all right. When we are seeing him falling down steps, not able to remember his own name.
Well, Google it, one man. I am telling you.
I follow American politics now. I've never known that to be the case.
Okay, I am telling you. You can check it up later. Sorry, what you don't know, you don't know. I see you laughing behind the scene, but it's okay.
Because we all follow politics now. So
but you don't know. You don't know.
I cannot even imagine it.
Yeah, they will come and tell you that he had a cough yesterday, but he's all right. Come on, come on.
Well, that is fine. I surrender to you guys. You have the right to say no, but I believe we are in a world where we're in a global village where you can search for anything and get your facts as easy as possible. So you can look it up. You see whether I'm lying or not. Annually, it is done in the United States. They will not release the certificate, but the doctor will come out and tell the nation.
Yeah, but that's a different story now. That's a different story now. So doctor will tell you that it's all right. Tinubu's doctor is telling us it's all right.
They will tell you, specifically, they will tell you.
Yeah, so but that's a different narrative. That's his own personal doctor.
Do you know? It is not his personal doctor. It's a doctor attached to the White House.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm telling you that you don't know. So see what you're talking about.
I don't know that is. I suspect that is not the case.
Yes,
I suspect
it is not his personal doctor. It is not his personal. There's a specific doctor that is attached to the White House that they will check him on an annual basis, and they will come to the air and tell the nation this is the state of his health. If he have diabetes, if he have all this, but that's the way they say it, and just to confirm to the nation that it's in good health condition, and it's accountable and it can be checked. There are some people checking it.
They told you Biden is in good health. Biden is in good health.
If he's not in good health, and he can run debate across the country, and it's not in good health, right? He can stand on debate and debate for 3 hours. It's not in good health. What are you talking about?
Forget what he's supposed to say, and you know that they are feeding it in his
ear. I am winning in this.
Look at these people. Somebody that can stand. Haven't you seen many of the time running? Haven't you seen him riding bike? Everything you say is not healthy. Look at you guys, just go and sit down, man. Who told you that
we've seen him falling down. We've seen him falling down several times.
He can fall sometimes. What are you talking about?
We've seen him confusing names. We've seen him stuttering words. We've seen him looking confused. Looking like he doesn't know where he is.
Haven't you seen him riding on bike?
And we've seen the entirety of the. We've seen the entire country. We've seen the entire country discussing his dementia. Are they not discussing his health? Is his health not a subject of discussion? His mental well-being.
The opposition party will say whatever they want to say.
Is he not Slow Joe? Are they not calling him Slow Joe? Slow Joe.
Can your Tinubu ride bike? Can you ride motorbike? Can he ride? Can he jog? Can he run around the street?
It doesn't come from that culture.
No, it doesn't come from that
culture.
Do you mean, which culture?
It doesn't come from the motorbike riding culture.
I mean, I'm talking about bicycle.
Who rides a bicycle? They ride bicycles in America now, and they ride motorbikes. Big men don't ride bicycles in Nigeria. Have you ever seen a big man ride a bicycle in Nigeria?
Okay. But people that are closer to him, they will protect him. He's going around. He's not exposed to media. They never allow media to ask him questions. They never allow. He's being protected. This is the way they protected Buhari throughout his campaign and everything, and he became the president, and we have seen what he gave to us. So we don't want such a situation to happen again. We just want somebody that is healthy to occupy that seat so that it can deliver to us. So that's my take.
All right, thank you, Janle Koko. So to Uzodinma suddenly begging Rochas Okorocha, this is something that I did not anticipate at all. The way he was going out after him with such aggression, you thought he was out to finish him, but suddenly now he's gone on channels television to say forgive and forget. So what are you then making then of this about turn of Fulani Maid?
Uzodinma and Okorocha, where both of them are from the same state, they have no other choice but to settle the wrangling between them for the good of the people of Imo State. Uzodinma has gone too far. The way he has harassed Okorocha, the way he has harassed his family, and Okorocha's sons-in-law. We've seen the way what he did is very, very bad. And people at the top of affair in their party should have called him to order. But the reason for him for doing that, we know it, is trying to to discredit Okorocha, destroy his political structure in the state, so that he can assume the number one most stronger politician in that state. That is what he was pursuing. But that was very bad. If this time he has realized that he has to make peace with Okorocha, I think that should be welcome, and both of them should settle the scores between them and work together for the interest of their people. That's my position on that.
Are you cooking? What's the banging of the pot? Who's banging the pots and pans?
Oh,
is this Oli?
No, I think it's from my side. Yeah, it's just one of my boys that are just doing something.
Okay. Okay, brilliant. So let's go now to this.
Can you read what this guy is saying? Can you read what?
No, I read it. That's why hold on. I'm the one highlighting it. I'm highlighting it now. Am I not the one highlighting it?
A lot of people have been saying it. Look at you people. What you don't know, you don't know. When somebody knows
this is Jafar now. This
is
Jafar. Jafar doesn't know anything now. What does Jafar know? Is Jafar? You are now quoting Jafar. When is anybody start to quote? Jafar doesn't know anything.
Look at Aizon. Look at everybody on the columnists of the confirm what I said.
Aizon is not there, but Jafar.
I mean, a lot of people confirm.
The one I highlighted is Jafar, and you know that Jafar doesn't know anything. Jafar, do you know anything? You don't know anything. Now we know you. I know nothing. Let me take you to, because we're talking about this extensively yesterday. The aviation fuel that we were just alarming that hopefully they don't sell adulterated aviation fuel to the airline industry. So it looks as though the airline industry have now lent heavily on the NNPC, and they are now giving them licenses to import petroleum products, particularly aviation fuel. So this is a real development. So just with this thing that has happened now, Alan Oyema suddenly becomes an oil dealer. What are you making then of this license being granted to Alan Oyema and his parties?
I think it's a totally wrong move. To me, it's not going to solve the problem. It's just going to complicate the problem more. Because what is worth doing at all is worth doing well. The NNPC is the sole importer of oil and oil product. I mean, what do you call it? It's
an abdication of responsibility, isn't it? It's saying that we are not capable. We are not capable.
Abdication of responsibility completely. One man, just like you did, abdication completely. So if you are incapable of doing your job, why not surrender it? Why not give away that nonsense NNPC? Let capable hand take over it, and government will not be spending our taxpayers' money to run a failed agency. So it is not. It's not the way out. It is abnormal. I have never seen in any part of the world where aviation industry will
because
be
if they give it to the aviation, then why would the road transporters association not? They have equal rights. Why?
Yes.
So
and then the manufacturing association of Nigeria, we say, okay, we want stable oil for our own manufacturing plant across the country.
They will get the license too.
Yes. They want to get
Baba Mutiu, who runs
Iyaloja
our
of
taxi,
Lagos.
she wants to import her own.
Iyaloja, the Tinubu daughter, and their Agbero across Lagos. We say, okay, we want this thing for and Eleron. All of them will start coming up with the association that we want. We have to import oil for our own industry to function well. So it is a wrong approach in the first place. I mean, people should just, I don't understand this. It's an abdication of responsibility. NNPC has to go. They are not doing the job well. People that are there managing that space, they are corrupt, they are incompetent. And look at what they did about the adulteration of adulterated petroleum. They brought it into the country recently. Nobody has been punished. Nothing has happened to them. Mr. President, that is the Minister of Petroleum in the country, nothing happened to him. So we are not. It's not going to get better. So it's just unfortunate that they are taking a wrong approach that cannot solve the problem, but rather complicate the problem.
Adanlekoko, it struck me as quite curious, the license that they gave them, because I even went back to reread it just so I'm sure. So the license that they were giving them is to import petroleum and specifically aviation fuel. So they didn't just give them a license to import let me see. It says as requested by the airline operators of Nigeria, they will be granted license by their authority to import petroleum products, particularly ATK, which is aviation fuel, So petroleum products, particularly aviation fuel. Mm-hmm. So that's not to tell you that they are limiting them to ATK, because if they were limiting them, because it's quite a very important industry, so you cannot be ambiguous with language. If you want them only to import that, then you state that with no ambiguity that this is the only license that we're giving you. But they're saying petroleum products, particularly. So that means they can still, for reasons that they present,
they can bring in other. They can bring in diesel. They can bring in petrol. They can. That. You see, I mean, it's just.
This is a label now for Alan Oyema.
They're opening up another avenue, for corrupt practices. That is what I've seen there, because when aviation industries start importing all sort of petroleum products, I mean. It's a way of corrupting that space again. So I don't really buy into that. It's a wrong approach, and it can never solve the problem. It's just going to corrupt.
Very quickly, most of them will abandon the airline and become oil dealers. Yes. There's more money. So, it's easier to run and it's more lucrative. So why would you be doing some silly airline when you can just sit at home and be collecting?
So what you are going to see here now, Oyema is going to be a petroleum marketing guy now. At the same time, is running an aviation industry. So it's just they are just taking a wrong approach. They don't know what to do. They don't know the right step to the right measure to take to solving problem. across the country. So I don't support it. It's a wrong approach. It's their responsibility, NNPC responsibility, to make available aviation fuel at all time in that country. But when they fail, it shows that they are incapable of running that sector well, and they should just give it. They should just sell it. If they sell it for just $1, just sell it off and let capable hand take over it that can make the product available. And the government will not be giving out our taxpayers' money every year to run that failed industry, but we'll be taking tax from whoever they sold it to.
The privateers.
Privateers. They'll be making they make revenue from there, to run the state instead of wasting our money away all the time. So I don't support that approach. It's wrong. They could right now. What is wrong? What is the problem for them to bring in aviation fuel? What is the problem? That is what they have to let us know. Why are they not capable of bringing in aviation fuel? But I can guess what is going on. They might not have enough foreign exchange to settle foreign the supplier. The government might not have enough foreign exchange.
Yes, they were saying they owe the suppliers nearly 2 trillion naira.
Can you see that?
Which is countless billions of dollars.
So and those ones are not ready to supply them any product any longer until they settle what they are owing. So that is what I suspect. They don't have enough forex to settle them, so they are abdicating this responsibility to Onyema and his group of aviation people. Okay, go and spend your money and save us from this problem that we cannot solve at the moment. So that is why they hurriedly give that.
Because the same processes and the same places that they should go to and buy this is what Onyema will do.
Onyema will go.
He will just go to the same places that you are going to buy this. So I'm not sure why you are not, because you are meant to manage the space, to manage the price, and manage everything. So why are you giving him the license when he's only going to do exactly what you are commissioned to do?
Yes. So it's just the problem. They're running the nation down fast, and they are running out of forex. And that is the big problem that they don't want to tell us. But now, do you know that before now, if you are in Nigeria, you can use your bank card to purchase whatever you want to purchase from foreign country or import anything or buy anything whatsoever to the value of $100 per month with your Nigerian bank card. But now, since yesterday, I guess, or since last week, they drop it down to $10 because there's no sufficient forex for the bank. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, I know. Once one of my wife's nieces, suddenly we had a knock on our door. And it was some food delivery. It was my wife's birthday, and this girl had ordered like a surprise lunch from Lagos to be delivered here. So yes.
Wow. Yeah. So they could use Nigerian bank card to buy up to the tune of $100 per month. That is the limit. But now they dropped that limit to $10 per month because of insufficient of forex in the country. So it's just I believe it's because of insufficient forex for them to settle their debt with the petroleum supplier, and that is why they abdicating this responsibility to Onyema. So one man, it's a wrong approach. I don't support it. This is not the way to run a country. Somebody cannot some group of people cannot just turn to billionaire or become billionaire overnight, because Uzodinma now will turn to big petroleum marketer, and
it's a double your money license that they've given you. Double your money license, you know.
Yes.
Come and join us license.
Come and join us.
Come and join us license.
Yes. So that's my take on that one, man.
All right. So Ajale Koko, you say they are running the country to the ground and they are running out of dollars. Nigerian Petroleum Agency, NNPC, fails to account for missing 107 million barrels of crude oil. It is the Auditor General Office saying this. So it is their own department telling us of this. So the NNPC are unable, they fail to account for 107 million barrels of crude oil. This is the Auditor General saying. So if we are averaging at $50-70 per barrel, and we're talking about in excess of 107 million barrels, then that speaks to you then of what you've just said, that they're running the country down and just ravaging it. So how is that even something that is possible? That you've not remitted the proceeds, you've disappeared 107 million barrels of petroleum. How is that possible? Mele Kyari is the guy now in contention again.
Well,
107 million barrels.
Well, let me tell you this. It's more than that. That is what Auditor General saw. There are many that he couldn't see, that he couldn't report. So this is what they saw. What of many that they will have taken, taken away like that without record for it. So that is the way they run Nigerian state. People that are incapable in position of authority, what are they there to do? To loot. This question should be posted to Mr. President. Why is this thing happening under your watch? You are the one in charge you are the Minister of Petroleum. You are the Commander of Petroleum in Nigeria. So, Mr. President, how is this missing? So, he should tell us why this is done, but what is going to happen?
Do you know what they are doing, Ajale Koko? They will sign out petroleum from the NNPC space to transit to a depot in maybe Ogbomoso or somewhere, or Anambra. That leaves, according to the records, they record it as having left, but it doesn't get to the depot. So in between them signing it out and it not getting to the depot, it disappears. The unutilized crudes, that disappears. So the ones that they've not been able to sell, the ones that they sold but fell through, the ones that have just been audited out but not audited in, that disappears. And then the monies that they get, the ones that come in and the ones that get remitted to the federation account is slashed by a half. So they just have all these magic tricks that they're doing, all of it culminating in 107 million barrels of petroleum disappearing to Mele Kyari's Agbada.
Let me tell you this. Even that jetty you're talking about, you go to that depot, their tank there where they store all these things. Do you know they don't have meters to show to account? They don't have meters. They used to have meters, but the meters, maybe they destroy it. Because I was watching a program when one guy that is in that sector was saying that all the meters are not functioning. So you cannot really give account of what is coming in and what is going out. So at the petroleum jetties, they don't have a meter, functioning meters to show you what is coming out and what is going in. So that is how they perpetrate corruption in that sector. And that is where millions and millions of dollars are run into some people's pocket at the expense of the country. So it's a corrupt, rotten country, And they are the one. These people are the people creating problem for that country. There's nothing wrong with the country, but the people managing the country are creating problem for the country, and they cannot solve the problem. We have to get a new set of leadership to give us a new direction in that country and put an end to this nonsense. So, but as long as they remain APC or PDP, this is the way they run it, and they cannot stop it, because that is how they get their money to continue to run their political machine, to continue to run to oppress the people. That's how they get the money to continue to remain in power. So it's unfortunate. There's nothing. It's just unfortunate that all this is happening. This Auditor General of the Federation, he has done a lot of things in that country recently, and he ought to be commended. You know, he's the one that revealed how police bullets and gun, how thousands of them that disappeared. You remember we treated it here, one man. You remember?
Yes.
There are a lot of things that this Auditor General has done, reported to the media, of what is going wrong in that country, the way they are running the country down, and nothing is done. Nothing is done by this administration. It's just unfortunate. So
you know, when we hear these things, sometimes maybe we should start putting dollar amounts to some of these things, because when you talk about 107 million barrels of petroleum crude, so you are just saying it as just maybe a barrel. They literally put the image of a barrel in your head, but if you substitute that that barrel with dollars, and you try and dollarize that 107 million barrels, you're talking about billions of dollars that these guys just pocket casually. They just pocket it.
Easy. Every day.
And they
Every
do it.
day.
It's almost routine. They don't even do it with fear of anything.
No.
You know.
No. That is the way they run it. And that is why
the country is so short. People cannot spend their own money to buy something. You're telling them a dollar a day.
A lot of people that are doing genuine business, that have some small scale industry, that just want to import some raw material to run their industry. They couldn't get funds. They couldn't get foreign exchange to import some materials outside the country. They just have to source to some of us here that, how can you do this? How can you do this for us? And we help you back home. Can you help us do this over there? It's just alarming. People running legitimate business to help the economic growth of the country. They cannot get foreign exchange. They can't get foreign exchange from Nigeria, but these people, they are siphoning the resources of the country, siphoning the forest into their foreign account every day. It's just sad. But like I still remain on my position. We have to fold them out. They cannot manage this place. We have to let these people go.
All right, Ajanle Koko. So let me take you to this final story. This is something that, like we said, we just accept something as just routine in Nigeria, if not normal, but routine. So traditionally, when they want to replace a Fulani with a Fulani, whoever is in the succession chain to take that position, they retire all of them to the Fulani spot that they want to put in situation. We see this in the army, we see this in all of the security agencies, and we see this especially in the police force. So this was Joseph Mbu, MBU. So I'm pronouncing it Mbu. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it properly.
Yeah.
He was compulsorily retired from the police force. This was in 2016. And this was to facilitate for Ibrahim Idris, who they installed immediately they took over from what's his name, Goodluck Jonathan. So this guy feels so sufficiently aggrieved that he has now gone to the industrial tribunal to insist that he was wrongfully sacked. So what are you then making of this culture and this guy's attempts to fight back?
Well, I think this is the first time I will hear a police inspector going to arbitrary court to fight for his retirement. So it's just the way Nigerian state is structured. The way Nigerian state is structured is fraudulent and it's not good for any purpose. So the president can come in and just wouldn't look at merit, wouldn't look at the hierarchy of in the police command structure. It won't look at the hierarchy in the military command structure. It can go down below and pick up whoever he like and place him over those that are on top of him in the hierarchy of command. And what they normally does is that when they bring somebody from below, those at top of him have to be retired. They have to let them go. So all their service for the nation will just go down the drain like that. That is a very bad culture in that country.
It's even dispiriting when you know there's a glass ceiling in your profession that cannot go above in your own country.
Yes.
When you know that no matter how good you are, no matter how hard you work, there's a level within the security structures that you cannot go above for reasons of being the wrong ethnicity. What is the meaning of that?
It is not good. It is not good at all. So this is the way. So if Tinubu comes in now, or any other person comes in now, he will be looking for Yoruba. Who is the Yoruba that I can trust? That will be by my side, will be my attorney general, will be my inspector general of police, will be my army chief. It is just the worst of the worst practice ever in the world. So it just shows us that this practice is done because people at the helm of affair does not trust other tribe that doesn't look like them to be around them for their security. They trust their tribal men to be around them as their security. They have more confidence on their tribal men, and we cannot run a nation like that. So Igbo man will come
if
as
after
the
70
tomorrow.
years, if after 70 years that's still the case, then what's the point of the country continuing? If we don't trust each other along tribal lines, and you only have confidence in your own people, so why don't you just be with your own people and let others be with their own people? Why they pretend? If we are not one people, then why are we one country? If we are not one people, why are we one country?
Yeah. They know the problem, but they will come on TV. Oh, we are the same people. We have to come together. But they don't trust each other. They know why they don't trust each other. So Igbo man will come there tomorrow as president. He wants Igbo man to be police chief. He wants Igbo man to be army general for his safety. What kind of country is that? So this practice of president picking anybody from anybody it likes should be stopped. It should be stopped. The person at the helm of affair in the police police command and the military command should automatically assume that position of the police chief and military chief and not the president digging up, choosing whoever he likes. No, because they are institutions on their own, and they are meant for the state. They are not institutions for to serve the president. They are for the state, and whoever at the top should assume that position on the top on merit, and based on that, should give him that should be that is enough for the president to appoint him, because he's occupying a position on merit and the top position of the security. Why must it be sacked? Why must it be sacked for another person below to come and take up that position? It is wrong. It's a wrong practice. As long as we continue this practice, to me, it shows that we don't trust each other, and we only trust our tribal men to be around us for us to be secure, for the president to be secure. So, and that is what Buhari has demonstrated. He doesn't trust Yoruba, Igbo when it comes to his security. He trusts his tribal man. That is why he have, what do you call it? The police chief, who is a Fulani.
Yeah.
And all those sides. That is why he have the Mongunu. It's a Fulani man. The national security of the. So it doesn't trust any other. All of them, the Fulani men. Yes. So what kind of country is that? So others that are well qualified for the job, they won't give him the chance because they are from other tribes. It is just a wrong practice. And until we change that structure, until we have it in the constitution, and that is why a lot of people are calling for a good constitution that can serve the nation well. Until we have a strong institution, the military institution should be made strong, and that whoever that is occupying the top position of the military must be a real professional, a person that really deserves that, merit that position. Whoever that is, the police profession should be a professional security profession, that whoever that is occupying the top position must be there on merit and must be ready to serve the state. Must be ready to serve the state. Once at the top of the affair, he should automatically assume the position of Inspector General of the police. The president should work with him, and he should work with the president. Working with the president is not serving the president, but serving the state. It can only be submissive to the president in the carrying out of his activity every day as as a security man for the country. So, but we must change the system. We must change that practice, and that is the best that can give us give people in that profession that sense of belonging, sense of commitment, and sense of commitment to their motherland. But an idea of sacking one and go and bring somebody behind is very, very wrong. So what this man is doing, taking them to court, I hope we get the right judgment, and that we check this wrong practice. We put it to check, we put it to a permanent check, and they will start doing the right thing in the country.
Oh, all right, thank you, Ajale Koko. So, Ajale Koko, let's go on from you to hopefully we have Solly now. So, Solly, are you there now? Oh, all right.
Yes.
All right, brilliant. So good to have you, Solly. So, Solly,
before you have Solly, let me say something. We have Ego here. You remember the video I sent to you, and I've sent to you and with a message that about electricity in Nigeria.
Which one?
Sir, it was of late they announced that there are little problems. It takes some time to be resolved, and I think we are getting out of it. Don't see that as an area.
Wait.
Which
will
video
not be
was
able
that?
to really speak much because I'm on the road. But I would like to come on.
Right,
when I get into the car.
That one is quite a lengthy one, isn't it?
No, it just falls 5 minutes or so. If you cannot play it now, maybe some later. When it comes
in the later session. So you want to
later session.
so
he must come,
you've been waiting for him, have you? You've been waiting for him.
You must come.
Yeah. I am here. I will defend each and every. I am
if
here.
You don't have time, one man now. You cannot play.
Yeah. You know the situation, Ego. There is there's a total blackout in the country. We know that because the national grid has fallen. But then you cannot even use your generator because you cannot get petrol. So how is the candle? How is the candle market? Have you bought Atukpa?
For one reason or the other, sir. For now, yes, I can tell you that I'm using my generator due to the situations.
Oh, are you able to get petrol? Are you able to get petrol?
Excuse me. See, there are in every country there must be some at a time where there are situations like this. So we don't capitalize on this.
Do you realize you say that every day? Do you realize you say that every day that
completely unfair to the
but
Nigerian
you say
people.
that every day
I
that
will
there must be some situation.
And tell you what is going on and not what you think or what. Don't just think.
The video I sent is not about the current situation. It's about electricity in general in Nigeria. I mean, Lagos in particular. So that is what I said. Not about the current problem with the electricity problem that they had. They said the grid blew up somewhere. It's not about that. It's about the entire security. I mean, electricity problem in Nigeria, particularly in Lagos. So you can play it later, one man. If you cannot play it now, it's just 5 minutes. So,
no, I'll play it later because I have to download it and then re-upload it. And you know what usually happens when I try to upload something? I get kicked off and then
let's move on. Should that be the case?
But
when you bring the video on, I will be with you all day.
One day we are going to devote time to you, and we will nail. You will be nailed down soon. I promise you that. We will nail you down.
Why are you saying? Why are you talking like that? One man, you know you are critics on your own.
No,
and
because
you are anti-Nigeria.
You paint black as white. You want to paint
you are
black
critics
as
and anti-Nigeria, but I'm ready to defeat you.
How am I anti-Nigeria? How am I Nigeria? I'm more Nigerian than you are.
Of course, that's why you are supporting. Are you one Nigeria? And you are saying that
I'm a better Nigeria. I'm a better Nigeria. I'm not a one Nigeria. I'm better Nigeria. Better Nigeria.
Good. I will really appreciate that. So forget about all this. Then you should be in line with Chowore when he said that these men should keep short with their Biafra and Yoruba nation narratives. You are with him, right? Are you with him or not?
I'm not with Shore, but I think this decision
you might not be with him. I'm with him.
I think they should shut their mouth.
Country. We don't need to tear the country apart. Tearing the country apart, I don't think is the best interest of the common Nigerians that are in this country. So fixing it, I think, is the best interest of the
people. Why do you say it's not for the betterment of the people?
No, the funny thing about you guys, when I was speaking the other day, some people was telling us that the sitting vice president of this country, the second citizen, which is next in command, is a boy to somebody. I said, no. The fact that you gave me a platform to become somebody doesn't mean I'm your boy. And they say that the one came whose name was Ola and later became Thomas was telling us that they don't burn away and some other ones were. I said, come, man. We have gone past that stage. What is the decision of Osipanjo today? He's telling Mohammed Balami that he wants to challenge his godfather, as you people has claimed. And I'm telling you that he will be the next president of this country. Take it or you leave it. We are watching at the political scene. We all are in it together. We are debating it, and we are watching the movement. Also, we predict also. So this is where we are today. So sometimes when we come to the public space, we should have a grant. Now, life has gone more than that stage. It's your boy. Come on, you gave me a platform, doesn't make me your boy. You made me this, doesn't make me your boy. We share some ideas, and you look at me as a competent someone, even maybe better than you in your own view. But you will not speak out your mind, maybe. So I'm telling you that today, you see this sitting vice president. As soon as he got his endorsement, he will defeat Tinubu in this country and he will run this country. The Igbos will wait for 2027. That's what is going to happen in this country. Let's watch and see. Because he's the only competent Nigeria that Nigeria have seen in the forefront and believed him. They saw him in the forefront and they believe in his decisions.
All
The
right.
Nigerians is not a
Decisions for what?
zoological or what Nnamdi
What are
Kanu
his
described
decisions?
it to be.
What are his
No,
decisions?
no,
So
just
I'm
leave
on
it
the
go alone.
train.
He
I
will
will
No,
watch
no,
just
your
no, no. I
details
want to
he
on
will
ask
start
you
time,
him
some
up.
but
questions.
I'm
I want to
ready to
ask you some
communicate
questions.
and defend
Ego,
every one of
Ego,
my
Ego, I
my
want to ask you
statements.
some
Thank you,
questions.
guys.
No, no, no. Don't run away, please. Let me ask you some questions. You said, okay, let me ask you. Is Boko Haram an issue for the average Nigerian?
Ego is gone now. Ego
I am not gone. I'm here.
okay.
Speak out so I can hear you. I told
Is
you I'm in
Boko
the
Haram
street.
is Boko Haram an
Speak
issue
up
for
so I can hear you.
is Boko Haram an issue for Nigeria, the average Nigerian?
All right. Let's leave that
I
because
didn't get the message
no,
very
no,
clear. I
no.
just hear
It's
It's a
fine.
Buhari
yes
No,
and
or
no,
no.
no,
It's a
no.
yes or
Tinubu.
no
Hold
question.
on,
It's
Solly,
a yes or no
because
question.
I'm going to be rounding it off soon. So, and I want you both to still have a full say. So, let me take you to the talking point, Solly. The petroleum space, they've granted Alan Oyema a license to import aviation fuel, but that license is not limited or restricted to aviation fuel. The most lucrative industry on this planet, go to Saudi Arabia, they'll tell you, is the oil industry. So how soon do you think before we see this guy abandon flying some silly plane all over the place and just
Okay.
collecting his petrodollar normal like everybody else?
Hmm. Well, at least they won't say that they've given it to a northerner again.
Mm.
This time, there's no nepotism involved. They've given another tribe a chance. Let's see what they'll do. But I don't believe that. But well, I don't want to believe that you abandon the air project. You know, but knowing
Yeah,
how
he
they
won't
used to
abandon
do,
it, but most of his attention will be. I mean, look how easy it is to make money from oil now.
yeah,
He doesn't even have to leave his home for anything. He'll just, it's just phone calls, isn't he?
yeah. But if you want to create jobs for the people, you have to at least set a standard where. See, look at Jeff Bezos. He left Amazon. Amazon is still functioning. So if he can do something like that, then it'll be very good. He can focus all his attention on petroleum, but leave somebody in charge to get things rolling. And their major problem in that country is management. You know, so if they can just manage it without him, then I see no problem. But it depends on his attitude.
Oh, all right, thank you, Solly. So, Solly, Tinubu's daughter comes to speak. He says, "My father was sick a while ago, but is better now." So, this is Tinubu's daughter because they cannot avoid that space or the speculation about his health. So his daughter, the Yaloja of Lagos, Folashade Ojo, she has now come out to say, look, yes, he was ill some time ago. This wasn't especially a secret. He's been to be taken care of. He's recovered sufficiently and fully for a man of his age and is healthy and solid enough to take charge of the country. But is this sufficient enough then to put an end to all this speculation around his health? Or does that satisfy you, Solly?
Yeah, I never cared about his health. That's not going to determine if he's going to lead the country in a good way or not, you know. But I'm sure she was pressured, especially at this point with APC and everything that is going on. Yoruba people now, they will just pressure and pressure and pressure, and she will just say the truth eventually, But it's not really a good look on them because you are going for the presidential seat. She could have just kept quiet till after, But
Do you think it's not a good look? Because I think it's a space that if they manage it properly, it can still be a positive, not a negative. So you're talking about a 69-year-old man, and people are speculating about his health. He's told you he's had knee surgery. Okay, so you think about it and you think, well, no, that's not out of usual for somebody to have knee surgery at that age. So he said he's had some health challenges, which he's recovered from. And you think that is not unusual for a man of any age, anybody to have ill health and recover from. So then you then look at him to see, is it demonstrating sufficient enough to show that he has recovered? And when you're looking at him, you see him traveling record pace all over the country, canvassing and
Oh
schmoozing
man, if
people.
you have money,
You
all
know,
those someone is not difficult now. Even if you are the
yeah, but,
sickest person on earth,
no,
and look at how you started the statement. You said the 69-year-old man.
yeah.
How could you have given birth to Yaloja then? He gave birth to her when he was less than a teenager.
What do
So
you mean?
that's the
What do you
beginning
mean?
of the
How old is
problem. We all
Yoloja?
know.
She's
Uh,
40,
uh,
she's 41 or something.
didn't she just celebrate like a 50 something or 60 something year old
Where
person?
did she celebrate that?
Uh,
Where are you guys getting all this rumor
I'll
that
pull
you
it
are
up now.
praising?
I'll
60,
pull it up.
Yeah,
60 years old. 60 years old.
she's not 60 years old. She's 41.
So
One man.
No,
Are
she
you
doesn't.
sure? Check her. Check. Google it. You will see her age now.
I don't know. I hate doesn't come up on Google though because I've checked before. But carry on, sorry. I'll Google it as you're speaking.
no, me too. I'm checking her age
Yeah.
online. She was okay. Her age is not even online. Now wow.
The age is not online because I've tried to check it before. So I don't know where people are
Why,
getting,
why are
you
they
know.
all adding their age? Baba is adding his age.
Uh,
Daughter is adding age. Eh?
The power of social media.
uh,
Wow. So okay, let's say 69 years old. But even for a 69-year-old person, that's even worse, based on how he's behaving. So what is the future potential for when he's older? Let's say he's actually even old. We can say, okay, yes, he's very agile for being very old. But he's saying he's young and he's behaving like that. So, but at the end of
yeah,
the day, it does not mean that they won't vote for him. Oh, they will still vote for him eventually at the end of the day, after all that.
because
That's
the guy is campaigning right around the country. No matter how wealthy he is, no matter that he has private jets, he still has to get into the car, has to be driven out to this place. You were on a flight just recently. It's a grueling experience now. It's a physical thing, flying. So it takes a lot
but
out of
one
you
man,
now.
these
Yeah.
people are flying in jets. They are not flying in economy.
Yeah,
They are
but
probably flying
it's
in
still the
first class
same
and in
thing now.
business class.
It's still the same
One man,
thing.
you won't feel it. You won't feel it.
You
You will
won't
not
feel it.
feel
You did
nothing.
not feel it when you
You
flew
won't feel
just 2 days
nothing.
ago.
You won't feel nothing. You
Look at
just
that. You know, you have to.
one man. There was
It's
a time that people were ordering pizza from UK to Nigeria now.
no.
Were they
Then
not
I
using
saw
jet?
that it was some ridiculous man that was telling us that some Hausa man that was saying. But no, yeah, but that's the thing, though. I don't know what more they want from that guy. He's physically going through a grueling schedule to campaign for a presidency, and people are saying he's not fit. How can he not be fit and doing all of these things that we're seeing him doing? Even a young man will struggle with his schedule. I mean, so come on, man, give the guy a break, is it a Thanos? Is this a Thanos? Sorry, what's going on? Are you being a Thanos? Eh?
No, 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 no. Me, I'm
Look
just trying to speak from what I know because now we don't know anything because he hid everything. Eh? But
at,
we keep on.
all right. So, Imo State, forgive and forget. Uzodinma pleads with Okorocha. So, does that somewhat surprise you? Because the way he was going after Okorocha, you thought he was just intent and hell bent on finishing him. Then a complete volte face, 360, and now he's pleading with him. And why would he even plead with him? He has all the powers. What are you then making then of this Fulani made governor going on his knees to Mr. Iberiberism?
Woman is politics. There's no permanent enemy in politics. We've seen, didn't Tinubu and Shola just fight? And they all fight, they all argue, but at the end of the day, when they want to when they want to move forward, they have work to do now. They will put emotions aside and they will move forward. Or else, what are they going to do? So I don't like to involve myself in all those kind of fights because at the end of the day, if they get back together, you are the one left looking stupid.
It's like husband and wife situation, isn't it? They say never interfere because you will be the bad person no matter what. Nigerian Petroleum Agency (NNPC) fails to account for missing 107 million barrels of crude oil. It is the Auditor General Office of the Nigerian government that is saying this. So, an internal organization pointing in the direction of NNPC to say that this, because I don't think we pay enough attention to some of the figures sometimes. 107 million barrels of crude oil. So
How
that
much is
is,
that in dollars?
well,
107.
if we are saying, if we average it to $50 to $70, even let's say 50, it's 100 and something dollars now petrol. But let's just for that time average it to about $50.
107 million barrels.
Yes,
Hey, alone.
at 50 $70 a barrel.
Hey, it couldn't
And
even enter my calculator.
that's the thing now. These are eye popping
Okay,
sums of
one man,
money
I have
now.
it. It is $7.49 billion.
Look at that. All disappeared within the space of 1 2 years into some Melekaris Agbada.
And they will say,
Yeah,
imagine they spent that money on projects.
they know what they do is they will release petrol. It won't get to the depot, but it's been released out, so they pocket that. And then there's some unutilized petrol, crude. I don't know what that means. Maybe it's something that they were not able to process, something that they, so that just comes off the books. But where does it go? So they'll pass it off to the Chinese, who will give them some dollars. That disappears. So they're just disappearing. Then they will sell petrol for, let's say, 100 billion naira, and pay about 40 billion into the federation account, and the remaining 60 on. So they just, all these little tricks, they're just pulling it and yanking it and just pocket it. Just this man's agbada, this, yeah.
They always overdo. They always overdo everything. That's
$7 billion, I mean, to one man's pocket. It's just, come on, man. Give us a break, Knock. Do these people even, and they go to the mosque and worship, do these people, is there a fear of God in that country?
well, they don't care.
You don't care either, really, do you?
No, me,
Sorry.
I care. Oh. If I don't care, I won't be here. I care.
I
What
don't
are
hear
you?
I don't hear outrage in your voice. You are not
Why
outraged. You
you?
should be
I'm not
outraged.
surprised. One man, you are
Uh,
not surprised. Some people you don't give them. See, I don't want to say it, but some people you don't give them opportunity because you are very cautious about it. Look at that one. You had one chance, and he couldn't even take in millions. He took in billions. He say let's pass 100 million. At 1 billion, he still didn't stop. 2 billion, 3 billion, 4 billion, 5 billion. He has forgotten about millions of dollars. He doesn't know the streets that he's living on in Nigeria. He entered 6 billion, 7 billion.
you know what I
No,
suspect these people do? When they come in and they steal the first bit, they'll steal just a little and wait to see what happens. Nothing happens, and then they steal bigger and nothing happens, and then suddenly they just start to take it. They don't even think that they are stealing it anymore. They just feel that
yeah.
it's theirs to take. He's just there, just taking however much he can take out of the space. You know, look what is 107 million barrels to the Nigerian domestic space. You solve all of that fuel scarcity in just one swoop. Because by the time that fits into the system, it will buy you at least a month to 6 weeks for you then to recalibrate. But they just disappeared it. $7 billion, they disappear it, and we rage about it today, but then tomorrow we are already raging about something else, and some person has walked away with $7 billion. That is the Nigerian narrative. So, sorry, let me take you to this final talking point. Ex AIG Joseph Mbu sues police for compulsory retirement. So, this was one of the people that they retired to make Ibrahim Idris the Inspector General of Police in 2016. So, this guy now has dust off all of his documents and approached the industrial court to say no. There was nothing to retire me on. I had not met the 60-year threshold. I was just being recently promoted. This is my record throughout my career. There's no blemish on it. So why was I retired? So he wants, at the very least, to be paid every single penny from when he was compulsorily retired to when he should have been retired, which would have been from 2016 to 2018. So what are you then making of AIG Joseph Umbo's fight back?
It's too sorry, too late now. Too sorry, too late. That's Nigeria. What is he going to do about it? He should just start formulating a new plan. That would have been the best thing for him to do. Instead of trying to fight back for old positions. This is what does not allow the youth to come in. All the old men still fighting for old positions. He should just move along. He should have made a future plan instead of,
But
that.
the greater fight is about the glass ceiling in the Nigerian, especially security space, where no matter how good you are, no matter how well you are served, you can never get to be the army chief, the DSS, the EFCC, the police, now increasingly customs. So there's about six, seven, eight security agency leadership that is sensitive and important, because that is the real heart of the country that they are never going to let a non-Fulani man take hold of, no matter how qualified, no matter how experienced, no matter how good you are at your job. So if that space opens up, they will retire everybody else that is in the succession line to land on the next Fulani that they like. So this was what happened to this guy.
So that's what I wanted to ask Ego before he went offline.
No, he's
You
back
know,
now, so you can put your
Okay,
question
yeah.
to him.
So
Yeah.
you said that they are enjoying Nigeria. Is this part of what they are enjoying? Is this part of the things that you enjoy in that country that you say there's no benefit for the average Nigerian, to split up the country? These are the kind of things. If the country is split, you avoid nepotistic situations like this. This solves so many issues, resolves it just without even if nobody wants to put hand into resolving this case, it solves it. 100% guarantee. That's just one of the benefits. But since we are here, we have to deal with nepotism.
No, it's
You
gone
know.
again. You've knocked him out with your question. So good, you've knocked him out with your question, and you've knocked the session on its head. Then, Solly. So good to have you, Solly. And of course, always a delight, Ajanle Koko. So as you know, the afternoon sessions are usually short sessions, and I have errands to run. So let me go about setting about the things that I need to do, but to reconvene later on in the evening. So thank you, gentlemen, for your company. Solly, of course, Ajanle Koko, of course, and or Ego, who flitted in and out. So Ego is asking about maybe they've snatched his phone. It wouldn't it be interesting, because he said it was on the streets as it's given. Maybe it wouldn't it be interesting if they snatched his phone when he's telling us Nigeria is safe. They say, give us that phone, man. So I hope your phone has not been snatched, Ego. If it hasn't, then come join us later in the evening. So we leave it there. Carry the conversation on in the comment section. But here, I say, peace.